Okay, in this problem, we are given that cosine of theta is equal to 3 over 5, and cosecant of theta is less than 0. And we are trying to figure out what would be tangent of theta. So these two first pieces of information help us determine which quadrant we are going to draw our triangle in. So cosine of theta is equal to positive 3 over 5. Thinking about all students take calculus, cosine is going to be positive in the first quadrant and the fourth quadrant. Then if you think about, well, cosecant of theta is less than 0. Really, since cosecant is the reciprocal of sine, really this is asking you, like, where is sine of theta less than 0? Where is sine of theta negative? So according to all students take calculus, sine is negative in the third quadrant and the fourth quadrant. So which quadrant overlaps? Fourth quadrant. So I'm going to draw this triangle in the fourth quadrant because that is the quadrant where cosine is positive and cosecant is negative. So I'm going to set up my triangle. Here's theta. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, so adjacent is 3, the hypotenuse is 5. This is a Pythagorean triple. A 3, 4, 5 triangle is one of those that you just have to have memorized. So this side is going to be 4, but since it's below the x-axis, it's negative 4. And I'm looking for tangent of theta. So tangent is opposite over adjacent, so it's going to be negative 4 over 3. Which makes sense because in the fourth quadrant, only cosine is positive, so tangent would need to be negative. So just to kind of recap again what we did, this information right here, cosine of theta equals 3 over 5, told us that we have to pick the quadrant where cosine is positive. So it's either going to be quadrant 1 or quadrant 4. And we also have this second negative information, cosecant of theta is negative, so that means where is sine of theta negative? And that's negative in the third and fourth quadrant. So the only quadrant that they have in common is the fourth quadrant, hence why we drew our triangle in the fourth quadrant. All right, go ahead and I want you to pause your video, copy this problem down, and attempt it on your own. I'm going to tell you cosecant of theta is equal to 2. Remember, what's the denominator of a whole number? And then secant of theta is also less than 0. So there are two pieces of information. I want you to use those to find cotangent of theta. So go ahead and copy this down, write it on paper, pause your video, and take a shot at it. All right, so we need to think, okay, cosecant is positive. So where is sine positive? Which quadrants is sine positive in? Sine is positive, so here's all students take calculus. Sine is positive in 1 and 2. Secant of theta, where is secant of theta less than 0? Secant is the reciprocal of cosine, so really where is this? Where is cosine negative? And cosine is negative in the second and the third. So the quadrant that these have in common is the second quadrant. So I'm going to draw this triangle. Whoa, not need to use that color because you can't really see it. Draw this triangle in the second quadrant. So here's my right triangle in the second quadrant. And it said that cosecant of theta is 2. Cosecant is the reciprocal of sine. So this is really 2 over 1. And sine is opposite over hypotenuse, so this is hypotenuse over opposite. So here's theta. Opposite of theta is 1, and the hypotenuse is 2. Oh my gosh, these are special right triangle ratios. So you could do Pythag, or you just know, oh, this has to be root 3. But since it's to the left of the x-axis, it has to be negative root 3. So if you had not picked that up yourself, you could have done Pythagorean theorem to figure out that that missing side is square root of 3. Okay, so now we have our triangle labeled. We can find cotangent of theta. Cotangent is the reciprocal of tangent. Tangent is opposite over adjacent, so cotangent is adjacent over opposite. Adjacent would be negative root 3 over opposite would be 1, which is just negative root 3. And that makes sense because in the second quadrant, cotangent and tangent should be negative.